Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first live stream of this trading week. So, yes, before we even begin, I hope that you guys can recall me saying that as we draw closer to the US elections, which is that event that we have been waiting for since the beginning of the year, right? As you guys might have realized, and as I have said, right, as we draw closer to this event, what did I say was going to happen? We will start getting worse conditions, right? Especially when it's like a few weeks until we get that injection of volatility, right? So all of the volatility is just waiting for what? The 5th of next month, right? That's what it is. If you look now, right, during this week, first of all, today, which is Monday, we had a bank holiday, right? Whereas we saw price, going in our favor, the bias that we previously had, right? But there was little to no logic there, for you guys. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, you see that we have no news. Wednesday again, we have no news. And then the only time we have news this week is Thursday. Right? You can see that this week lacks volatility. Even next week, we just have news on Monday as well. Right? And we will usually get, a lot of price action, movement, or volatility in the fourth, week of the month. Right? So yes, that's it. You see, there isn't much to talk about, right? We just know that Thursday we can expect something to form. Before Thursday or after Thursday, which is Friday, if you're interested in doing anything, right, there must be two things that are present, right? And it's the two main things that we always talk about. And you already know what it is: sequential SMT and the precision swing point. When there was no volatility, those were the things that you depend on, right? And these are usually the things that cause price to turn around, price to reverse within the, crypto market as well. Right, so here, you can see that, right? It doesn't look like price did a lot here. But, this is the weekly time frame. So all of this candle right here, well, even this one right here, you can see that this candle, right, poked below this one failed to do so, right? And then after that, what happened? Price just continued higher. So this was sequential SMT right here. And when looking at and this is just a tip, and you don't have to do this, but when looking on the weekly time frame, right? Once you see this, right, a rapid correlation between the candles, whereas this one is higher than this one, but this one is lower than this one, right? Expect the next candle to expand. And this is why, right? And we'll talk about the movement that we expected next, right? This is why we expected what we expected, which was a higher movement of price for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So here it does not look much, and this is due to the fact that price is waiting for the US elections, right? So until then, right, and price has been just going to back and forth for over 6 months right now, I believe, right? So since March, it's just been going, just back and forth, right? A lot of liquidity above this high, and yes, I believe that, right, price will eventually run above this high. And if we see this happen between Bitcoin versus price runs above this high right here, and Ethereum fails to run above this high, then that will be sequential SMT and qualify price for a reversal. So yes, these few weeks that we're heading into right now, which I believe is like less than 4 weeks until we have it's less than a month, right, before the elections, right? These will be the hardest weeks, right? Prices will be at all-time highs for some assets, all-time lows for some assets, like some shit coins or whatnot, right? Mostly all-time highs for assets such as these, strong assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, S&P 500, and just dabbling in the middle in terms of the FX market. So it's during these times that we will see, and this lesson will not even be relevant until it's like election time again, because we won't be experiencing this type of price action for a few years, right? Unless it's like on the very low time frames, like before we have non-farm payroll, or before we have CPI, or before we just have some type of high impact news event, right? So yes, that's my outlook for this time frame right now. It's not much to see. And here is where we had, the magic happen, right? So as you guys remember, right? And now I'll just go to the daily time frame here, right? When we looked at Bitcoin, what did we expect? We expected, price to go higher. But first we wanted to see this low being taken out. And not only did we want to see this low be taken out, we also wanted to see SMT and a precision swing point, and that's what we have right here. Right, this is the daily time frame. Right, we had price take this low out, right, which was the previous week pertaining to this week. Right, price took this low out. This was a precision swing point. Here we had price fit, take this low out, and this was a precision swing point. Right. Also, we have what? SMT fill, right? After we had this beautiful price action, right? And within this precision swing point, there's another lower time frame precision swing point, which you will look at right now. Right, so this is the 4-hour time frame, and this is the way we look at price, right? As you guys should know, I believe all of you guys know this, right? The yearly time frame to the 12M, then the monthly, then the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, and 1 minute. We could go lower, but it's not necessary right now, but eventually we will. So here we can see that we have a precision swing point here as well, right? Which was the low of the previous week, right? Always remember that when we're looking at the weekly cycle, right, we have to use the 4-hour time frame, right? So here we went below the previous week, which was not a part of quarterly theory, right? This is doubling theory. This is the blank week that you see every 3 months or so, right? So here price traded below this low, which was the previous week, which is what we expected. Price is trade below this low, then go higher, right? The reason why we wanted to see this happen was because it didn't happen. And I'll say that again. The reason why we wanted to see this right here happen was because it did not happen. Do you understand? We prey on these types of things to occur in price action before we can do anything at all. That's what it is, right? So you can have a handful of assets that you look at. You can look at crypto, right? You can just use Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Or you just need that duo, Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Because they basically control everything else in the marketplace, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum, you don't really need much more than that. You don't want to confuse yourself, right? The 4-hour time frame. And, this is what you look for, because this is the main thing that will cause price to reverse, right? Sequential SMT between the monthly cycle, right? Or sequential SMT between the weekly cycle. And if you're using sequential SMT between the weekly cycle, what do you use? The 1-hour time frame. So yes, we had price drop below this low, stamp a precision swing point, then continue higher. Here we had price fail to break below this low, standard resistance swing point, and continue higher. Right, something to pay attention to is here, this low right here. Right, and let me use the cursor so you can see this low right here. Right, it was formed on what? Thursday. Right, and this low right here was formed on a Thursday. This low right here, it was formed on a Thursday. And this low right here, it was formed on a Thursday. Right, so that's something that you need to pay attention to. At times, it's not necessary, completely necessary, but it does make your analysis more accurate. Here, you can see that price is still following this sequential SMT right here, right? So again, it's the sequential SMT between the years, right? So it's between 2023 and the current year, right? So we talked about it, price was around here, then we saw price just explode a bit. It's still, continuing higher. We believe this is drawing liquidity for the US dollar index. We believe this is drawing liquidity for the euro. We believe that, price views should be seeing some lower prices for the pound. Right, and at the moment, you guys realize, right, we do have, right, the US dollar index, moving in the same direction as the futures trade, which isn't something that you want to see when you're looking for high probability market conditions. Usually you see these things happen whenever you have, prices at all-time highs for the US dollar index, right? And as I've said before, whenever the FX triad consolidates, you always see expansion, occur in regards to the futures triad. Right, so here, there isn't much to look at, right? We need to see, something clear, happen here. You can see that we have the British pound just doing nothing, basically. We see the euro just basically doing nothing again, consolidating. Here we had liquidity. We have liquidity below these lows. We have liquidity above this high. We could see price sweep this high, sweep this low, or one of them just sweep the liquidity. The same, same thing for the British pound, cause sequential SMT, and then price will just continue higher for the US dollar index, continue lower for the euro, and continue lower for the British pound. Here, right, you can see that we have the IRT, the interest rate triad, moving in the same direction as the FX triad. It's very important to note that whenever you see the IRT or the interest rate triad out of sync with the futures triad, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow, that means that we are, about to have a reversal in regards to the futures triad, especially if prices are all-time highs, right? So there are times when you see this, it will seem confusing, right? But it's just that it's lagging, right? It's just a lag, which is obviously programmed, right? At the highs right here, what do you see? We have this candle trading above this one, this candle trading above this one. Look at the weekly time frame. Each of these candles represent a week data. Here, what do you have? This price, this candle failing to trade above this one. So that's sequential SMT. Here, you guys can see that price did go in our, desired direction, right? Even though here, we didn't get the sweep that we needed, which would be perfect. But as soon as we had, this SMT market structure shift right here, right, we expect the price higher to go higher, and even around, while price was here, we still expect the price to go higher, which it did. So yes, for the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. If you missed anything, please let me know right now. I'm looking in the chat box. I'll just be, waiting for questions or anticipating your questions for the next, 60 seconds. If there are no questions, then yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Some people are saying that there's no audio. Are you serious? Bro, don't play with me, man. Is there no audio for... Okay, some people say audio is good. Wow. That scared me. Okay, audio is good. I guess that you'll be able to hear in the recording. So some people say that you need to close and restart your Telegram or something like that. But don't worry, it's recorded, so you'll be okay. Right? So this is for everyone that's new, right? Those of you that are seasoned, you understand that, this type of price action that we're having right now, it's normal, right? There are times when it becomes slow. There are times when it's like, it's almost impossible to read, right? And that's usually the case when prices at all-time highs if you do not use the tools that we use, such, when we compare the IRT to the futures chart and so on. Right? As of now, am I correct in saying that there is a viable monthly sequence SMT on FX chart? Yes. Yes, sir. But due to the fact that we have the opposing sequential SMT on the higher time frame, remember that one, right? It will be short-lived if it even takes place, right? So I hope that you found this useful. We will be back again, right? As you guys see, there isn't much to do or to talk about. If you need to do anything at all, right, just make sure that you have two things, as I always say: sequential SMT and a precision swing point, right? And then you'll be okay, as long as you're managing your risk. So I hope you found this useful. We will be back 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday.